Hello everybody and welcome to Perek Lamed Daled, that's chapter 34 of the book of Shemot. In this special chapter, a very special event happens. Moshe Rabbeinu goes up on Mount Sinai and receives the second luchot, the second tablets. Well, this is how it all went down. First of all, Hashem commanded Moshe that he should carve out for himself a second set of tablets and come up for 40 days up to Har Sinai to spend with Hashem, and then Hashem will give him the second tablets. Okay, so Moshe Rabbeinu goes up on Har Sinai with the second tablets, and when he gets up there, Hashem tells him, I'm going to reveal to you, because the Jewish people sinned and you have to pray for them, I'm going to reveal to you a special tefillah. And this special tefillah is said every day of the week in the Tachanun prayers, in short, and then on the high holidays we expand on it, we say it many times, and it's called the Yud Gimel Midot HaRachamim, the 13 traits of mercy. Okay? And we even have a song that you may know about it, that we sometimes sing when the Torah comes out on Shabbat. Hashem, Hashem, Kel Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Hapayim Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed V'Alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha V'Chata V'Nakei. And those 13 words, including the second time Hashem is mentioned, are 13 midot. A midah means a way of acting. 13 ways Hashem acts towards us with mercy. He acts towards the creations with mercy. And Hashem said, if you need my mercy, which we all need Hashem's mercy, say this tefillah and I will have mercy on you. And that's why we use this as a special part of the prayer. And Hashem taught Moshe the way to pray to him, the proper way of leading the prayers. Okay? And Moshe Rabbeinu asks Hashem to return his direct guidance, that he's going to go with the Jews in the desert and not send the angel. And Hashem says, okay, I will be with you even in the Galut. And then we had a mitzvah that we should not eat or drink offerings brought by Ovdei Kochavim, of idolaters, those who are worshipping idols. To this day, a Jew is not allowed to drink wine handled by a non-Jew. The reason is that in the olden times, and we still have some to this day that do this, they would use wine as part of their service of their idols, like pouring it out or making a toast to their idol, and that act makes the wine considered a idol worship accessory, and therefore we just are careful not to touch any wine that's handled by a non-Jew because of that worry. And there's also other reasons that you can study as well. Okay? Now, Hashem warns Moshe, do not make a treaty with the peoples of Canaan, because it will cause intermarriage and your children will become also idol worshippers. That means when the Jewish people came into Canaan, they were not allowed to make any peace treaties with those nations there. They had to offer them either to become Jews, to accept the laws of the Torah, or to leave, or to fight and be destroyed. Okay, Hashem tells Moshe, when you come in there, destroy all their idols and their Asherah trees. The people used to plant a tree called an Asherah tree, and they would bow to it, and they would worship it. And Hashem reminds them, they cannot bow to any other god, no metal idols. He reminds him to keep Pesach, reminds him to have the firstborn is belonging to Hashem. You have to redeem the firstborn. Observe Shabbat, keep Shemitah the 7th year. Don't work on the farm, and the Yovel the 50th year as well, not to work on the farm. He reminds him about Shavuot and Sukkot, and that all Jews should visit Moshe 3 times a year. And they should not be scared that if they're going to leave their homes, if we're going to leave our homes unguarded, maybe enemies will come. Hashem says, no, I will protect you. You won't have to worry about any attacks. And then Hashem says that we should not own chametz when we slaughter the Korban Pesach. And don't leave any of the leftovers of the Korban Pesach until morning. And on Shavuot holiday, we bring first fruits to the temple. And finally, we have that we should not cook milk and meat together. So a lot of mitzvot are told in this parak, in the middle of the story of Moshe getting the second commandments. And actually, it's very interesting that when Moshe got the second commandments, our rabbis teach us that he even got more mitzvot, more details than by the first commandments. He got many more details. So in a way, it was actually a blessing in disguise that the first tablets were broken, because now Moshe got so many more mitzvot. And Hashem tells Moshe that he must write down the written Torah, but the real contract is with the teachings that are oral, that are taught by heart. And after 40 days and nights, without eating, drinking, or sleeping, Moshe gets the second luchot. These ones he had to carve himself with the writing, and he had to descend from Har Sinai. And because he spent so much time with Hashem, Moshe had a shine, rays of light, beaming from his face. And everybody who saw him, they couldn't stand it, they couldn't look at him. It was so powerful. So Moshe had to put a veil, a mask, over his face, over his, at least his eyes area, that they should not see these beams of light and be scared. And Moshe taught the oral Torah to Aaron and his sons and the elders, and then the Bnei Yisrael. The way Moshe would teach it is first Moshe would come in, sort of like to a classroom, right? Moshe would teach it to Aaron. Then Aaron would sit down, and then Moshe would have the sons of Aaron come in and hear it. They would sit down next to Moshe and Aaron. Then the Zekenim, then the elders would come in, they would hear it, and they would sit down. Then any Jew who wanted would come in to hear it as well. So they heard it over and over, the oral teachings that Hashem gave. And that is the story of getting of the second luchot. And the second luchot came together with a lot of mitzvot to make the Jewish people special, different from all the goyim or the nations that they were going to go live among them. What is going on over there? This is the mower. The silly story to remember, Perek Lamed Daled. What is a mower doing over here? Well, you see, when Moshe was told to carve the Ten Commandments, it was very hard. So Moshe invented a special mower, that the mower mowed over those tablets. What is going on? And what does a mower have to do with 34? Well, it's a silly story. You see, the M is a 3 flipped on its side, and the vowels don't count, and the W is actually a cousin of the U, which is a vowel, because it's a W, so therefore the W doesn't count either. And then the R is the number 4, because if you remember, 4, F-O-U-R, the fourth letter is an R, and therefore the 4 is an R. And therefore 34 is mower. Back to the silly story. Woo! And when Moshe finished mowing the tablets, it was a neatly written 10 commandments there with the beautiful writing of the mower which he mowed on them. That's ridiculous. Of course, Moshe had to carve it out by hand, not like the first tablets which were carved by God. And of course, Hashem gave Moshe many mitzvot, such as destroying the idols and not mixing with the idolaters, and keeping all of the festivals, and writing down the Torah and teaching Torah to the Jewish people. And that is the story. Wait a minute. What is about the Moshe's light from his face? Good question. All the Jews were running away from Moshe. Why were they running away? They were running away from the light coming out of his face. No, because Moshe came down from Har Sinai with a lawnmower and he was chasing them. And they were all running. Moshe's got a mower. That's ridiculous. And that's why it's a silly story.